I think Josh is kind of a stereotypical two guard. He's got a good offensive skill set, can shoot the ball from the perimeter, can make plays off the dribble, can finish going to the basket. He defensively works hard, has a pretty good control of the ball when he's in one-on-one matchups, understands team concepts. So, overall, I think that, Josh is kind of a pretty good all-round player. There's not really massive deficiencies in his game. Obviously, being young, I'm sure, he knows, and we all know there's still things for him to improve and get better. But, he's a dedicated worker. He spends time thinking about the game away from the court, and then also spends hours dedicating himself to become better on the court as well. I think, Josh is arguably his biggest strength is his maturity of his game, and that comes from his focus off the floor as well as on it. He's always been laser focused in terms of where he wants to get to, what he wants to achieve with his career. He's always been a guy that's been willing to put in hours to do that. I think that one of his strengths is his mental resilience. He is focused in what he wants to achieve, and he's dedicated his life to that so far, living that professional lifestyle in terms of looking after his body, watching games, studying, becoming that student. So, away from the floor, that's one of his big powers for me, like the way that he really dedicates himself to doing everything he can. I think the one thing that probably goes missing when you're looking at Josh is his unselfishness in terms of playing within the team. He's a guy that points arguably aren't his biggest kind of strength. He's capable of scoring. He has big scoring games, but he isn't always a guy that's averaging 20, 30 points. But you get a consistency with Josh, and I think that's a major strength for me that might go unnoticed, because he isn't necessarily that guy that has the big games. But, he's an all-round performer. He's an all-round contributor, both on the offensive end, defensive end. He's happy to make an extra pass. He's happy defensively, wearing himself out, chasing good players off the floor, really working to take a key matchup on the defensive end and then slow it down. So, I think that's probably almost the one thing that holds him back is that he's kind of a more consistent player than one that has massive games and then those peaks and troughs. So for me as a coach, like it's a really good thing to know that we get that consistency. But I think sometimes that takes away from a little bit of the shine, because he doesn't have those 30-point games or those big explosions offensively that perhaps some other players get, or will make highlight clips, or the kind of the headline news. In terms of Josh's ceiling, to be honest, I don't know. I've known him for a long time, and if I'm honest, every time he kind of gets to a point where I wonder, is this it? He exceeds it. He kind of takes that next step, and that next, he evolves. He does something different. He improves something. So I think as long as he keeps doing that, he has a chance to play, a good level. He's still young. I think even, myself, having dealt with him a lot as a youth player, and then seen him a lot going to college and here in the BBL, these last 2 years in Spain, I can see the development in his game. I think he's shooting the ball a lot better from the perimeter. I think his playmaking ability has taken a sizable jump as well. So, I think that he's a guy that likes that challenge. He likes, that ceiling to be put there, and people think this is it. And then he kind of kicks on and goes again. So, yeah, I honestly don't know. I think he's, obviously, I think he is a guy that will go as far as he can, while he's still got the desire and the drive that he shows at this moment in time.